Udio. Nobody talks about Udio at dinner parties. That might actually be why it matters. While every other AI music tool was rushing to generate viral content, Udio quietly sat down with Universal Music Group and worked out a licensing deal. That means its training data is legitimate, something almost no competitor can claim right now. The output isn't always the flashiest, but if you're building something you actually want to release, starting on legally solid ground is worth more than a catchier chorus. It won't win a speed contest, but it's the one you'd want in your corner if music ever stopped being a hobby. Suno does something that still feels slightly impossible. Describe a song in plain language, and 30 seconds later you have one. Lyrics, melody, instrumentation, structure, the whole thing. Version 5 figured out something earlier versions couldn't. Songs need to go somewhere. Verse, chorus, bridge. Suno now understands that a song isn't just a vibe sustained for 4 minutes. It's a journey. You also get individual stems to work with and vocal styles you can lock in and reuse. The uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say out loud: most people genuinely cannot tell these tracks are AI generated. That's either exciting or concerning depending on how you make your living. Runway Gen 4.5. Most AI video tools treat you like an audience member. You type, it generates. You hope. Runway treats you like a director. You can guide the camera. You can control how things move. You can maintain consistency across scenes instead of watching your main character transform into a completely different person between cuts. For creators who have a specific vision and need the output to actually match it, Runway is currently the most capable option in that $12 to $15 range. It's not the fastest, it's not the simplest, but it's the one that respects what you're actually trying to make. Kling 2.6. Kling made a decision that nobody else had made yet. Stop treating video and audio as two separate problems. Feed it a prompt, get back a complete clip, visuals, sound effects, ambient audio, voiceover, all generated together, already in sync. For anyone producing content at scale, that single workflow change cuts hours off the process every week. It's not trying to win a film festival. It's trying to clear your content calendar before lunch. For short-form platforms, that trade-off is completely worth it. Sora 2. Previous AI video tools had a complicated relationship with reality. Liquid behaved strangely. Claude moved like it had opinions. Characters aged 30 years between frames. Sora 2 fixed most of that. The underlying physics model is genuinely different. Things fall correctly. Surfaces interact properly. Scenes maintain internal consistency in ways earlier tools couldn't manage. Up to a minute of footage, audio included, accessible through a subscription most people already have. It's not replacing cinematographers, but it's the first AI video tool where the gap between what you imagined and what you get is actually narrow enough to be useful. Stable Diffusion 3.5. Every other image tool on this list is a service. Stable Diffusion is software. You install it. You run it. Nobody sees what you generate. Nobody charges you per image. Nobody changes the terms of service in a way that affects your workflow. And through the ecosystem that's grown around it, fine-tuned models, ControlNet, LoRa adaptations, the level of customization available is genuinely unmatched by anything cloud-based. The learning curve is real. You will spend time confused before you spend time productive. But for professionals who need complete control and complete privacy, that investment pays back quickly. Flux. Prompt accuracy sounds like a boring thing to optimize for. It's actually the most useful thing. Flux doesn't try to make your prompt more interesting or cinematic or dramatic. It tries to generate exactly what you described. That sounds obvious. Somehow it's rare. If your work involves precise briefs, client specifications, or any situation where creative interpretation is a problem rather than a feature, Flux is the tool that stops wasting your time. Open source, runs locally, costs nothing beyond hardware. The unglamorous workhorse of the image generation world. DALL 3. DALL 3 doesn't win on quality or control or artistic range. It wins on friction, specifically the complete absence of it. It lives inside ChatGPT, which means no separate subscription, no new interface to learn, no workflow interruption. You're already there, you need an image, you ask for one. It also handles text inside images better than almost anything else at this price point, which matters more than people expect until the day they need it and everything else fails. For experimentation, for quick mock-ups, for I just need something visual right now, DALL E3 is the right answer. Midjourney. There's a quality ceiling in AI image generation, and Midjourney is currently sitting right at it. Other tools generate images that look like AI generated them. Midjourney generates images that look like they were made by someone with taste, cinematic lighting, deliberate composition, a visual weight that other tools haven't figured out how to replicate yet. At around $10 a month, it's also one of the better value propositions in creative software generally. It's not the most precise, it's not locally run, but when the output needs to actually impress someone, it's the tool most professionals reach for first. Mistral. Mistral doesn't have a billion-dollar marketing budget or a famous founder posting on social media. What it has is efficiency, doing more with less than almost anyone else in the open source space. Built in France, it's particularly capable with European languages in ways that models trained almost entirely on English content simply aren't. For multilingual work, for developers who want a capable open source foundation without massive hardware requirements, Mistral consistently outperforms what its size suggests it should be capable of. The low profile is a feature, it just works. DeepSeek R1, the AI industry had an unspoken assumption. Serious frontier models required serious frontier budgets. DeepSeek broke that assumption publicly and somewhat embarrassingly for everyone else. R1 is fully open source. Run it yourself. A mixture of experts architecture means the full parameter count doesn't activate on every query, keeping it fast in a way brute force scaling can't match. The operational cost is a fraction of comparable proprietary models. A fraction of a fraction, actually. The data privacy questions are real and worth thinking through, but running it locally makes those concerns largely irrelevant. Nothing leaves your machine. The bigger implication isn't about DeepSeek specifically. It's the demonstration that the expensive moat these labs thought they had isn't as deep as advertised. Llama, a significant portion of the AI tools people use daily, are running Llama underneath without advertising that fact. Meta released the weights, the community took over, and the result is an ecosystem that's become the default infrastructure of open source AI. Llama 4's current variants reach 400 billion parameters with context windows that handle 10 million tokens. Tools like Llama turned what used to be a complex technical setup into something approachable for non-engineers. Perplexity. Every other AI tool gives you an answer. Perplexity gives you an answer with footnotes. Sonar, its core search model, pulls from the live web and surfaces sources alongside responses. That alone makes it more trustworthy for research than anything relying solely on training data. But Perplexity also operates as a hub. GPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, Kimi, accessible from one interface under one subscription. For people who genuinely need multiple models rather than brand loyalty to one, the economics make obvious sense. The trade-off is real. API access isn't the same as native access. You get the intelligence without some of the surrounding features. For research and fact-checking, that's completely acceptable. Grok technical specs are competitive, multimodal, strong context window, capable image and video generation. But the real differentiator isn't in a benchmark. It's connected to X in real time, not crawling the web periodically, actually plugged into the live pulse of what people are saying right now. For anything that requires understanding public sentiment, tracking breaking developments, or knowing what the conversation actually is before writing about it, that connection is genuinely irreplaceable. The tone is different too, conversational in a way that feels earned rather than performed. And it engages with questions that other models have been trained to sidestep. Whether that's a strength or a liability depends entirely on the question being asked. Claude. Reputation in developer communities is hard to fake. People who write code for a living and test tools against real problems have landed somewhere consistent. When the work is hard, Claude is where they start. The coding benchmarks back this up, not toy problems, but tests measuring genuine software comprehension. The long context handling is real, not marketing. feed it an entire codebase, and it comes back with organized, accurate analysis instead of losing the thread halfway through. What separates it beyond performance is the honesty. Claude will tell you when your approach is wrong. It won't soften a bad idea into something palatable or validate a flawed plan because you seem enthusiastic about it. In a category where every tool competes to be agreeable, that directness is genuinely useful and genuinely rare. The gap is on the generalist side. Images, voice, multimodal breadth, GPT and Gemini are ahead there. Claude knows what it's for. Gemini's benchmark numbers are strong. 13 of 16 major tests, competitive math reasoning scores, context windows that can hold an entire novel. Those matter. What matters more is that most people are already using it without realizing it. It's inside search, inside Gmail, inside Docs and Sheets and Maps and Android. Google spent 20 years building the infrastructure of daily digital life, and Gemini is now running through all of it. A model that already knows your email threads, your calendar, your search history, that's a different kind of useful than a model you open in a separate tab. Gemini Flash extends this further by delivering most of that capability at significantly faster speeds for everyday tasks. GPT. Before ChatGPT launched, most people had never had a conversation with an AI. After it launched, everything changed. That matters beyond nostalgia. GPT 5.2 is the most well-rounded model in the field. Writing, analysis, code, images, voice, it handles all of it competently. The O-series reasoning branch handles the hard problems that require actual deliberation. DALL-E handles images. Sora handles video. The app packages everything together so seamlessly that most users never think about what's running. AI agents. Everything covered so far answers questions. Agents do things. Book the meeting, summarize the document, navigate the website, execute the code, file the report. The shift from language model to autonomous agent is the most significant transition the industry is currently going through, and it's happening faster than most people expected. OpenAI's Operator, Google's Project Mariner, Anthropic's Computer Use. These are early versions of a category that's going to become central to how knowledge work actually gets done. The current versions make mistakes, sometimes confidently. They're not unsupervised yet, but the direction is clear.